Good morning from the last day of AIMEXPO 2025. I'm sneaking in about an hour early. There's very few people here. I just thought I would give you a quick run through of what it looks like without people everywhere. Hopefully it's somewhat interesting. Here we have the Revit booth, which has an incredibly awesome looking Cove 450. The black and the white with the Revit logos, that thing looks great. Now on day one, Revit showed us the new Sand 5 gear. They mentioned during the unveiling that they like to go with shocking new colors and push the industry, but what they showed us was this light gray, dark gray, and black, which keep your colors, keep your other designs. This is the best looking jacket I've ever seen. That's pretty amazing. This is a row of supposedly new bikes, new bikes that are coming out, but honestly, I know that that's not a new bike. That's a bike from last year. That's a bike from last year, so I'm not exactly sure why they called this New Product Central. Still nice to look at the bikes. Nice looking carbon helmet from Liat. This is a reminder that this show is not for the public. This show is for dealers. This show is for shops. There's a catering to that naturally. Lots of interesting products to put in your store. I came here knowing that, of course, and the reason I came was I really like to peek behind the curtain. I wanted to see what these people see at the beginning of the year, products that they're planning on putting in their shops. I find it interesting. I wouldn't necessarily recommend coming here as a biker or a rider, but it is interesting. Galfer. I'm an EBC guy myself, but I do have Galfer brake rotors on at least one of my bikes. Electric. There's just so much electric. And I am completely unexcited. I mean, progress happens. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it, but part of being old is realizing progress isn't always good. Change isn't always positive change. I know that there will be electric motorcycles. I know that there will still be riders. I know that someday those bikes will be able to go as far as our gas engines can, but it makes me really sad. There's going to be something lost when you're on this machine that doesn't rumble because it has to. A machine that isn't too hot in some spots because it has to be. A machine that doesn't fight you a little bit because you're sitting on top of explosions. Normal part of getting old, but I'm disappointed that we're going to refine so much of the excitement out of barreling down the trail on explosions and wheels, and we're going to switch to smoothness and refinement. Refinement is fine for many things. I don't want a refined motorcycle. I've been here for 3 days and I actually haven't seen this 1050. Wow, it looks great in red. I am a big fan of the Suzuki V-Strom. That is a nice looking version of it. This bike I've wanted to look at for a couple of days, but every time I've come near, there's a million people here. I do prefer the Harley as a rule, as the big American biker, the classic thing, but this Indian looks nice. Whew. Do we really need speakers that big though? Oh, that's amazing. See, we can add technology to bikes. We can make them more quote unquote refined and still have it look like a classic. But it will not be the same when something like that is electric. It just won't be the same. It is so quiet and peaceful. It is a half day today. These folks will then start the real work, I imagine. All the work they did to put this up, and they're gonna have to do it all in reverse. Now that is some nice looking suspension, and me without a wrench to pull any of those off. Damn it. Having owned a Honda CRF 250L, I've had too many fork seals replaced. Get on that, Honda. It's always been a problem with your bikes. Hey, we're stopping someplace that I meant to go by and ask them if they could hook a brother up. The brother being Greg from the Bearded Grump. Greg, look at that Continental. TKC 80, brother. TKC 80 or nothing, Greg? That could be your tire for 2025. You'll see in the background of my other videos, if I didn't cut it all out, this is all full. People everywhere. It is amazing not only watching the people in the industry work, but watching the true actual media. Like this right behind me will be full of gentlemen and ladies typing away on their laptops. I assume creating copy for websites or something. But it's quite amazing how much laptop use there is. I've seen quite a few Moto Marinis. They do have their own spot here. This one looks pretty nice. This is the place to come for dealers. Oh, now this bike is almost special to me. This is a Honda CB350. I say almost special because the very first street bike I ever rode was a CB360, which looked identical to this if you ask me. So I was on a dirt bike beforehand, but this is essentially how I started riding on the street. I can't even remember how to properly kickstart. It was so easy to do. I say so easy to do because I could do it instantly, no problem, without thinking about it. And about 5 years ago, I was borrowing a bike switched on the trail with a guy that had a Kawasaki with a kickstart, and I didn't have that groove anymore. It took quite a bit to do it. And I remember on my Honda, I never even thought about it. I just hopped on, I just kicked it, and I just left, and it was beautiful muscle memory. Now, my buddy Tim loves two things, Suzuki's and Yamaha Blue. He actually went and got a V-Strom in Yamaha Blue. Well, Tim, here's some blue for you. There's no denying what Yamaha's color is because they have brought everything in Yamaha Blue. Shiny and pretty. Oh, the new R9. This, not the R7, is, I am told, the replacement to the R6. My son-in-law Joe has an R6, and I'd say this is a close approximation. It is more modern, obviously, than his, but it's got that same look of, you're gonna get on me, and I'm gonna be a rocket. It also has, just like his R6, a set of clip-ons that make me say, and your back's gonna hurt from the moment you start till the moment you end. And a lot of people assume when I talk to them about my FZ1s that, oh, you know, it's probably, you're getting older, you probably can't do the clip-ons anymore. I got on a Honda with clip-ons when I was 16. Oh, my back hurt then. I don't know how you flexible guys do clip-ons.